To the studios and talk about more information on these storms. We've got a busy week, Stephanie. Another blizzard later this week, which looks to be more promising for Chicago, I think.
It does, Jim. And so maybe you'll just stay there through the week and cover that one too. We'll see about that. Let's have a look at the severe weather, however. By the way, he looked nice and bundled up in that Carhartt gear. We'll have to ask him. This is his first winter storm of the season. And, you know, he's been in the South a long time. And I always joke with him that his blood is thinned out because he's originally, you know, from New England. We'll see how he's handling that cold this morning. Takes a minute for your blood to thicken up this time of year, doesn't it? Especially when it's been so warm. Speaking of warm, we've got the warmth in the South, and that means the flooding potential is in Mississippi, Louisiana. This is from tonight till tomorrow, but notice how everything shifts east. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw more flood advisories posted as everything is going to go east. 3 to 5 inches of rain. We could see 6+ inches of rain in some locations. The one saving grace is this thing does move, but it's kind of an all-day event for some of us. So if you get in a couple rounds of that heavy rain, it really could be excessive, and you could see some flooding because of that here from the coast all the way really to the I-20 border, I-20 corridor, I should say. So there are your showers moving east through the day. Monday, Tuesday, it's an all-day event for us here. And don't forget, with this, we do have that threat for severe weather, the Carolinas down into Florida. And that flooding is likely, especially as you look at Jamaica and Atlanta and go up the Appalachians into the mid-Atlantic. There's your severe weather threat. Same threats tomorrow as we have today, the hail, the damaging winds, and of course, tornadoes. We have a 5 on our Torcon where you see the deepest red shading there, and the higher the number, the higher the threat. And a 5 is up there, especially for this time of year, so watch for that. We did just have an EF0 tornado in Fort Lauderdale. It was a big one for Fort Lauderdale this past weekend. Look at this line coming through, Kelly. That's where you're going to see the most damaging winds. They cut through Florida through the rest of the day. We pull out of the Carolinas finally as we are hopefully going to sleep.
Yeah, that's why we're on all night long.
Storm Fin is on the move, bringing severe storms to the south, snow to central plains, Midwest and Northeast. When this massive storm hits, could actually be crucial to planning your day. So let's go to meteorologist Jim Cantori, who's live in Chicago. Jim, this is not just a thing with planes, which is going to be a big time issue, but on the roads, that blowing and drifting snow, even if you don't get the foot of snow, 3 inches with winds at 40, 50 plus miles an hour is going to take down your visibility.
Right. And not to mention one base layer, that's it, and then the jacket.
That's great.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, we're all excited about our partnership now with Carhartt, so that is good to hear. Jim, we'll check back with you, but let's get into what you were saying about the Northeast. We are going to see some snow in the interior, but the big story is how we just saw a lot of snowfall, and now we're going to have very heavy rainfall. So that rainfall alone would cause the potential for flooding, but that heavy rainfall on melting snow is going to exacerbate the situation and cause issues with the rivers as well. Tuesday to Tuesday night, rain, wind. We clear out Wednesday, but notice the wind. The wind always sticks around for an extra day with these systems. The past 2 days, we saw over a foot of snow in some spots. And now we're going to toss all of this moisture coming from the south. So it's nice and warm and juicy all the way up here into the Northeast. And you see those tightly packed white lines, those isobars, lines of equal pressure. That means it's going to rain out. So 2 to 3 inches of rain. You're talking half a month to a month's worth of rain possible in some spots. So there is that flash flood potential from Virginia all the way up into New England. Snow in the interior. There's your rain closer to the coast for us here. And there are all of the river gauges. That's a forecast for many to go into moderate and even major stage. And I think the key word, Kelly, as you said, is tonight, right? Because a lot of people are going to be going to bed. So having different ways to be woken up, even if it's someone calling you that lives somewhere else, or someone that stays up late, or someone like us who wake up very early in the morning, we could call you, because a lot of these storms coming through at 3, 4 in the morning, when you have people doing shift work, that could call and let you know. So today it is Texas to Florida. Tomorrow, severe weather stretches from the Carolinas down into Florida. And it's the same type of severe weather both days. Damaging winds and tornadoes are a threat. A 5 on a Torcon scale here. 10 is the greatest threat, though 5 is something you really need to be paying attention to. as we go through the day, it's going to just unload on Louisiana, especially this afternoon around 3, even 4, 5, 6 o'clock. We have multiple different cells. All of these cells are going to be cranking out lightning, heavy rain, and if they get that little spin in them, they could have tornadoes in them as well. It will take until early in the mornings on Tuesday for everything to be out of this area. How about New Orleans? Look at Biloxi, Macomb, Mississippi. We also have a 5 on our Torcon, and just huge amounts of moisture coming in from the Gulf of Mexico. Heavy rainfall lasting around dinner time. And again, multiple different potential supercells, and then a line coming through, which, by the way, you can get little spin-ups within that line. And regardless, you're going to have damaging winds, not only, by the way, in these thunderstorms, but also large-scale damaging winds. Even when you don't have the storms, you're going to go out, and it will be breezy just from the overall system. Rain comes into Alabama, that intense line right there, 3 a.m. So if you know someone maybe that lives on the West Coast, make sure they can break through to your phone and wake you up if you have it on sleep mode here. And it's going to be storming. They can look out for you. We got to look out for each other a little bit more here in this country. Birmingham down to Montgomery. For us, it's also an early morning wake-up call. We do get the showers as we head into the evening, and then 3, 4 o'clock. Look from I-20 down towards Prattville, coming into Montgomery on 65. Then it's just lighter rain after that. As we continue through our Wednesday early morning, everything will be out of here. State capital of Tallahassee, state capital of Florida, Tallahassee here. It is a noontime situation for us for lunch. Obviously, we're going to have a lot of coastal issues as well. Lake City, it gets into you, and then we finally are going to clear out. Let's look at the snowy side of this. When will we clear out of it? Jim has a look, because Jim is really just getting its act together today.
Right.